I said it last week. I thought this little episode was going to be a little bit spicy. Trust me, it had plenty of cayenne and crushed red pepper seeds.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Greenleaf. This is season 2, episode 14. Now, we start right off. We got Lionel. He has shown up to the Greenleaf Mansion. It's him, Lady May, and Bishop are actually in the office. And they're actually sitting down to talk. And we're saying, what in the world does he get ready to drop on them? Well, the news that he actually had is that it's Aaron. Aaron is gay. He has moved to Montgomery, Alabama, and he did a pop-up visit on him. And guess who was there at the apartment? None other than Kevin. Kevin was there. Lionel wants Bishop to talk to Aaron because he feels as though Bishop could talk some sense into Aaron, because Aaron is saying that he was born gay, and Lionel knows that that is just not the truth, and Bishop will be able to talk about it as foolishness. Said, okay, so Bishop, here you are faced with this gay issue yet again, and it's still attached to your son-in-law. I said, Lord have mercy, a mess. So that was a whole big thing, and I'm laughing at Bishop because Bishop was on. He said, I want you to talk to him. He said, who, me? I said, yeah, you. It was a mess. I said, okay. And May was just done with it. She just ain't had no patience for it at all. She had walked on out. So then we got Carissa and Jacob. They're at home. Carissa is basically under the covers, giving Jacob brain in the morning. I said, oh my. She just steady down there giving blurpage and slurpage. I said, well, look at her, Addie, I guess. And that was her whole thing. And she's like, she called into work late, and she's like, oh, I'm going with you. Today's your first day. I'm going with you. So she ends up going on down to the office with him. I said, this isn't going to go well. She's going to be in there being messy. I know she is. Charity. Charity gets a nice little call from Jabari. She has an invite to go with Tamala Mann on tour with her as one of her backup singers for 10 weeks. Of course, Lady May tried to talk her out of it. Didn't think it was a good idea. Of course, Gigi told her, yes, this could be really, really big for you. She kind of schmoozed it over with May because the two of them are just really getting along. I said, ain't this a mess? So they basically talked about that, and then it ended up getting revisited, and we'll talk about it. So by this time, Aaron has actually shown up. So now we got Aaron and the Bishop. And right before they go into the office, Bishop says to Aaron, he says, no, Aaron said, before we go in here, Bishop, I was born gay. I don't have a problem with being who I am. You're not going to be able to talk me into being something different. So I just don't want to go in here with that whole expectation and that whole thing, because this is what my dad is doing. And I just didn't even want to be having this conversation and all that. So Bishop's like, no. Let's not jump to conclusions. Let's go in here and let the Lord just have his way. I said, oh, Bishop, here you go. So they go in, and they start the conversation. Of course, Lionel's being very bullheaded, very anti-gay, Bible-toting, adulterous freak is what he was given, but whatever. So he goes in there, and they get at it. Aaron's getting ready to leave because he just had enough, and he's ready to leave. And they're quoting Bible scriptures back and forth, and it was just a whole mess. Lionel's like, I thought you would be a little more on my side, James, talking to the Bishop. And Bishop's like, I'm not on anybody's side. Then May and Bishop end up getting to it later on, and she's telling Bishop, you need to be on Lionel's side. That boy ain't doing nothing but starting up rumors, because right before Aaron left, Aaron ended up getting Lionel absolutely together and told him, just because you do it with men, I mean, just because I do it with men and you do it with women, it's no different. It's a sin. I'm gay and I sleep with men. That's a sin. You're married. You were married and you slept with multiple women. That's sin. And he turned around there and gave that he didn't know what he was talking about. He told him, please. They said, well, the one good thing is your mother, with your mother being gone and leaving us like she did, she don't know about you. And he said, I told Mama when I was 13 years old, she did know. And while she knew about me, she knew about you and all your women too. Honey, that Lionel's face was cracked and on the ground. I said, uh-huh. So Bishop's looking at him like, And I'm laughing like, wait till you find out that one of the women is May. I said, Lord have mercy. Now, May done stormed on out and got an attitude. Later on, we figure out May was actually mad at Lionel because she's like, what other women on her? I want to know. Now, she done feel you the side chick. And you got the nerve to be mad that you ain't the only side chick. Baby, what I tell you, May cussed him out. Cussed him out. With her drunk self. Because she done got all drunk up. And because she drank so much wine. They had this whole little thing at the table. Lord have mercy. But before that, before Aaron actually stormed out that day out of the whole building, he stopped to see Charity, and him and Charity got into it. Charity was like, no, you ain't coming to talk to me with this old bull crap, Hattie. And she told him, I don't care nothing about Kevin. I am mad, and he should be ashamed of himself, and I ain't worried about him, what y'all did to me. You know, she said, but that whole thing about leaving his son, yeah, I got a problem with that, and I don't care. He's like, well, he's feeling ashamed. She said, I told you I don't care. I said, oh, okay, Charity. All right. No problem. And I laughed. So back at the office, that was Bishop was in there, and he will say, Lionel, so tacky, will say, that boy is making up stories. You see, a spirit of perversion is on. I said, oh, if you don't get out of here with that church shit. So if the spirit of perversion is making him tell lies. Is it? So what spirit are you operating under, Hattie? Mess. I said, that's a whole mess. So they end up going, like I said, they had this dinner. And May was getting drunk, and she's telling Charity, you know, because she's going off into a tangent about how men ain't nothing, and men will lie to you, and they'll catch you when you're vulnerable. I said, girl, shut up before you tell on yourself. She's throwing all this daggers and all this shade and sending all these subliminals. I said, girl, you need to stop. That's right before she cussed Lionel out. Cussed him out. Then Lionel had the nerve to tell her, she told him, you ain't nothing. You're not a man. You're no good at all. He told her, who, me? Your brother was a rapist. Your husband ain't no saint. And your sissy son-in-law is probably who done got my boy all screwed up like this. Baby, she said you treading on thin ice. And she gave him cat out of here. She slapped his daggone face real good out of here and told him off. I said, mess. Then we got the girls, Sophia and Zora at practice for cotillion. Of course, you know that dog on Isaiah was late. He come in there with sunglasses on. He come in there clowning. They're trying to teach him to dance. He in there doing some Michael Jackson moves and all this. Then he done got everything all held up. He's taking pictures with the girls and this, that. It was a mess. And Sophia ended up telling him off. Told him, I don't understand why it's always, miraculously, it always ends up being about you. I just don't get it. And he's trying to go back and forth with Sophia. Baby, Sophia was getting them together. She told him, listen, the man is supposed to be the frame. The woman is the photo. But being as though you got the roles all reversed. I said, oh, honey, he said, I'm out of here. He got mad and stormed out. Zora went after him, honey. He got to yelling and screaming at Zora after they got outside and asked her, is you smashing me or you smashing her? How you going to be choosing her over me? And they got to going back and forth. Then he got to tussling with her and slammed her back bust her back all up against the pole. And then she's like, now, why? You know what? She's like, don't touch me. Leave me alone. This is enough. Then he gave her the true abusive man thing, honey, and turned that thing around and worked the Jedi mind trick on her and told her, I love you and I'm just so afraid you're going to leave me. Please forgive me. I'll never hit you again. Won't you? She got makeup on her forehead right now for where you bust her forehead on the daggone dashboard. Now you done bust her back all up into. I said, girl, she fell for it and was kissing him. She just as stupid. Just as stupid. But, so all of that went on. Okay, so the other little thing, Carissa and Tasha. When they get down to the church, you know, Carissa's kind of just watching. Tasha is being like, so, you know, everybody's making over her. Everybody feels so bad about what happened with Bishop Skanks and all of this. And everybody feels sorry for her. She invites Tasha over to her house for dinner. So it's Carissa, Jacob, and Tasha having dinner. Tasha is doing some stuff and talking, and Carissa's like, you know what, that's the job of the first lady, honey. I'll take care of it. So then she going to get over there and get all sad and stuff. So then Jacob grabs her hand, honey, and is making over her, honey. Carissa was looking. I said, girl, she is about to chew and spit nails, baby. And she was giving, we not doing this, honey, Miss Tasha. No, baby, not this. Not my man, bitch. I was like, okay. So later on that night, honey, Jacob go in there. She will say, you know, your office is right next to Tasha's office. Her office needs to be moved way down the hall where your office used to be. She need to get on down there. And that office where she's at, that needs to be my office. And he's like, well, Carissa, you know, come on. It just takes time. She was like, now. And so to try to get her to shut up, he went on and munched her carpet. I said, oh, y'all spend more time eating each other up, honey, than anything else. Mess. These good church folk. So I said they was hot and heavy. And then let's swing over to Darius and Gigi. Gigi's asked Darius all these questions, and she gets around to ask him where does he think he'll be in 5 years. He basically tells her, you know, a bigger house and settled down, and she's asked him, did he want some kids? And he's like, no, I don't want any kids. And I'm like, oop, girl, that was a sting, because she already got one. So then she asked him again, are you sure that you don't want to have kids? He's like, no, I don't want to have any kids. But, you know, and then she was looking all simple how she be looking. Then he's like, you know, I want whatever it is you want. Whatever you want to do, then that's what I want, because all I want is you. Honey, he said just the right words, baby. Next thing I know, Pastor Grace was riding a hard one, honey. I said, oh, girl, here she go again. Hot and heavy, honey. I said, girl, riding a hard one on the couch. Then he stretched her out and was giving it to her. I said, child, this is too much on her today. Pretty hot and pretty heavy. Anyway, so last thing we see Lionel get ready to leave. Bishop comes down. Bishop is in a different place when it comes to this whole gay situation. He ended up telling Lionel, that boy is the only blood relative that you actually have left. You need to hold on to that boy, because at some point you're going to need him. He needs you now, but at some point you're going to need him. And he's like, oh, I'll take it into consideration, James. He says, tell May I'm sorry. He says, sorry for what? He says, sorry that I didn't get to tell her bye. He was looking at him like, I said, Bishop's wheels is spinning, honey. And I said, oh, there going to be some mess to hit the fan. Bishop ain't going to let that go. He ain't that slow. And, you know, May told me she was sick. She wasn't sick. She was drunk. She had a hangover. And her blood pressure probably was up, all that fussing she was doing to hit people and carrying on. But anyway, that's basically it. That's all that really went down on Greenleaf this week. So, I will talk to you guys next week. Later.